winds and cold water provide the perfect training scenario for the search and rescue teams in the Chesapeake Bay. Plus, Patuxent River pilots have a hard time catching their breath. How Manned Flight Simulator is helping aircrew identify symptoms of hypoxia. And the benefits of biking to work, why you should consider this two-wheeled type of transportation. Welcome to this edition of Airwaves. I'm Michael Lauren Prue. Search and rescue teams braved the chilly waters of the Chesapeake Bay to take part in a survival training demonstration. The Aviation Survival Training Center organized the open water rescue to better understand what happens to crew members involved in a splashdown. 4 volunteers wearing anti-exposure suits entered the 40-degree water, then spent more than an hour waiting for rescue crews to arrive on scene. High winds and near-freezing conditions challenged rescue teams and added realism to SAR training that can't be replicated in a pool.
It's what you would encounter in a real rescue scenario, the survivor being helpless, they're in a state of hypothermia. The stress level, even though it's training, you're applying these devices to them. It's a living person that you're trying to get back in the helicopter as safely as possible. It's a rare, unique training opportunity that's awesome.
ASTC will use lessons learned from this event to improve survival training techniques and equipment. You can see the full story by visiting our website at www.navair.navy.mil/news. Hypoxia, or the loss of oxygen, is a real danger aircrew may face in flight. And because hypoxia can creep up without warning, knowing the signs is critical to survival. FA-18 pilots recently took part in hypoxia training inside a high-fidelity simulator. The pilots were given an intense task to perform at a reduced level of oxygen. The realism of the training helped them to feel the full impact a loss of oxygen has on their ability to safely fly an aircraft.
We start to see decrements in motor and mental performance, speech intelligibility, response times to certain air traffic control calls, and then basic motor skills to fly the aircraft. Having the actual cockpit layout and the actual mission profile loaded in conjunction with the hypoxia training, per the aircrew's response, is much more beneficial to them on how far they would take a certain mission, knowing that there may or may not be something wrong with them.
Engineers outfitted the simulator with all of the oxygen system pieces that pilots would normally need to use in a breathing emergency. The physical awareness of the system location will help pilots treat themselves even in an impaired state. A computer system gives unmanned aircraft operators greater situational awareness while in flight. The ground-based Sense and Avoid system provides a radar picture of all manned and unmanned aircraft operating within the airspace. Operators can quickly identify and respond to potential threats, reducing the possibility of an in-flight collision. Engineers used live, virtual, and constructive assets to test the system in a controlled environment.
From our perspective, it was basically seamless. We had no idea what traffics were real, what traffics were not real, and that was the idea of the test, is that they were able to create simulated targets here that we were able to look at, and it would be creating encounters, but we weren't supposed to know which tracks were real and which ones weren't.
So we have to ensure that when we're mixing manned and unmanned in these areas that we're providing safe separation, safety of flight. I mean, test itself, there's a certain amount of risk involved, so it's all about risk mitigation. And so how we operate within that airspace is key, not just to the system under test, but the other users of that airspace.
Riding your bike to work is a great way to save time, money, and energy. But a busy road can be intimidating, especially for beginners. Bike to Work Week is about getting over that fear and getting out with friends. You don't have to be an experienced cyclist to join in the fun. Bike to Work Week encourages employees to trade in their car keys for two-wheeled transportation.
It's a great way to start the day. You get to work and you're more invigorated and more ready to go to work than if you're sitting in traffic fuming the whole time.
And it doesn't take much to get started. You'll need a bike, a helmet, and a basic understanding of the rules of the road.
Stay to the right, be predictable, don't do anything crazy, and follow all the rules you would if you were driving your car. Of course, wear a helmet. I mean, that's, I think, the biggest one.
Experienced riders will be available on Bike to Work Day to coach new riders and help them navigate the roads.
There's comfort riding in a group. We'll coach, we'll work with people, and we'll actually do some training in advance if people are interested in attending on how you can do it a little better, a little safer.
Whatever your reason for riding to work, you'll find bicycling has its benefits.
The general benefits, I think, are mostly mental attitude and physical fitness, right? So maybe during Bike to Work Week, we start thinking about what kind of savings we're getting from not driving our car.
You just come into work and you're so much more invigorated than you are if you've the stress of driving every day. And part of the beauty is, like I said, at gas being $3.50, $3.60 a gallon, you're saving at least a gallon a day. So figure you're looking at $15 to $20 a week in cash savings in your pocket.
Bike to Work Week is May 13 through 17. The Patuxent River Velo Club is hosting Bike to Work Day on Thursday, May 16th. For more information about Bike to Work Day, visit www.paxvelo.com/bike to work. That's it for this edition of Airwaves. See you on the flight line.